All right, moving right along. Kid Goetch with the budget report.
Thank you.
Also a hot topic.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of wrestling about who had to follow the video. And
Ken drew the short straw.
I'd like to first start with there we go. The update of the prior fiscal year, fiscal year 2017. As you know, our fiscal year ended on June 30, and RSM LLP, our auditors, are underway with the audit. And I just want to note that this is the 5th year of their contract, so at the end of this audit, board permission will be putting this out to bid and bringing in another round of order candidates for your consideration. To date, the college has received $3.4 million from our first semester state budget payment for last year. And we know that the state's veto override budget was approved in early July. The state authorized an additional $4.8 million for last year. But we did learn last week that the state controller determined that state colleges and universities must record that second semester FY17 payment and FY18. So they're not going to let us book it for the prior fiscal year. But that said and done, even without that payment, we fully expect to balance for last year's budget. And we'll be bringing that to the board at the September board meeting. For the FY 2018 budget update, in addition to the $4.8 million that we're bringing forward from last year, the state did approve an operating grant of 90% statewide. Our share of that was about 84%, or about $6.8 million for this year's budget. And you know, we're assuming about 80% state funding, or $6.5 million. So we have a slight positive differential from final FY18 funding. Plus, we'll have that carryover amount that we'll be including in this year's budget as well. So we're suggesting at the September 19th board meeting that we'll bring some options to the board to determine how we want to treat this additional state dollar. So in light of your comments earlier regarding the state executive committee talking about this isn't cash, it's a budget, we'll look at some conservative options to recommend to the board. In addition to the other levels of funding, we did receive almost $900,000 of MAP funding last year. And the financial aid office has reconciled those existing rewards to disperse the aids to the students. And we're also on track for the MAP award for this academic year. And then in terms of adult education and state, both federal and state, we received $1.4 million, and it will serve about 3,300 students. And I know President India noted in his kickoff remarks that our adult education program, for the first time in a long time, has never exceeded all of the 11 performance indicators. So thank you to our adult
education. Of the year, and Arlene Santos George as well, if you could both share.
Fantastic. And then just to close, there's still several concerns. It was a one-year budget override. We're not really sure what's going to happen next year. We still do have the looming property tax freeze proposals and pension shifts that are looming. And so given there's still questions on the revenue side, we're going to be recommending the college to maintain our current conservative posture going forward.
Thank you. Any questions?
What is our enrollment number based on?
So far, we assumed a minus 1.6% enrollment drop for this year, and it's down about 1%. So it's doing better than we were thinking. But I know, Rich, you always say it's kind of too early to call it. You usually typically wait another week or two.
We're holding flat, I would say. Over the last few years, we've beaten our number, our budget number. We've come in better, so we're going to be close this year.
So we really weren't expecting anything for the second half of 17, and that was something.
Well, and I think the fact too that we're being required to post that against 18 is kind of telling us, all those bad payments you thought you were going to get, they aren't coming.
It's interesting too, because community colleges did want to report for last year. A number of them are facing some significant deficits. That number would have helped them better balance their books. The state controller, though, did reach out on national accounting standards. It really was a function of the fact that they approved the budget 2 days or 3 days at the start of the fiscal year. It really what forced it into the current year. Had they approved the budget at the end of June, it could have been reported into 2018. So
I think too, with continually declining enrollments, we just need to keep conservative outlook on future expenditures.
That's why President Haney's good news presentation was really all about reminding everyone we still need to kind of keep our game faces on.
Yeah, and I was very proud that the college was able to come in under budget even without receiving the second half funding. But a lot of people contribute to that. And, you know, we've held positions open, we've left them vacant, we've cut travel, we've done all of these things to really help us meet that goal. But it's tough on folks. I'll be honest with the board, you know, we have folks who are in jobs and they're working super hard because we have vacancies. You know, over the next month or two, you're going to see us come back and say, here are a few positions that we absolutely need to fill because we have folks that just can't keep up that kind of pace. But again, I think we are going to continue to be very conservative, as Ken and I both talked about. You know, this was a one-year budget, and budget isn't cash, as they said. And we know that there's still a lot of discussions that are going to happen over the